Morning, guys. So we got one on the trailer so far, and we're pulling the other one right now with this nice rotator. Right, so there we go. We got two of them on. 4 main straps. We got the one there in the front, one just behind on the top, 2 on the bottom there. Got one over the top to hold them drawers shut, those cabinets shut, whatever the heck you want to call them, and then one over top of those 2 bags. So we should be good to go. Make sure this bag is nice and tight. Yeah. So now I am freezing my butt off. This wasn't too bad. I don't know if you guys can see me there. Not good enough. Loading wasn't bad. Took them, took them almost an hour to load me. So I've been sitting here for 4 hours altogether, which really pisses me off because they could have called me this morning. I would have happily went back to sleep this morning. I was not ready to get up. The truck started a regen at 4 o'clock this morning, and because that stupid heater core in the back isn't working, I was freezing my butt off. The front just wasn't doing enough. Wasn't doing enough to keep the sleeper warm. So I was up for about a half an hour this morning, mostly because sleeping through that regen is next to impossible. I had tissues somewhere here. Asshole. Anyway, so I was up for about a half an hour this morning, and then I was just laying there trying to go back to sleep, and I'm just freezing. So I said, screw it. I shut the truck off, shut the curtain, and started up the bunk heater. I figured, 2 hours in freezing weather isn't going to do anything, considering the fact all the time it's spent over the weekend not running. The couple hours this morning wasn't going to hurt it at all. So that's what I did. I started up the bunk heater and actually ran for about 3 hours. I don't think I showed you guys this yesterday. I need the other one, but there's the one brake knob. The only thing I got to do is figure out how to tighten it to where it belongs. That's tight, and I don't want to force it all the way around and end up breaking the threads on the knob, or not on the knob, but on the plastic piece that it screws on. Definitely look better with the 2 of them on there. Alright, so we have to head down to South Brunswick as I punch it in here. Not that I couldn't have done all this while I was waiting for them to get here. To the Freightliner down there. Okay, so what the heck? Now it's going to be a pain in my butt. It's not even giving me an option for this place. I gotta look this place up. Man, what a pain in the neck that was. I punch it up as South Brunswick. I go to punch in Cranberry. Actually, they gave me Cranberry River. It's actually Cranberry South River Road.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
That didn't pull up, so then I looked it up on Google. It went to go pull it up on that address. That didn't work, and then I went to go. Then I did it by the zip code, and it brought me back to South Brunswick. GPS is sometimes, I tell you. All right, so anyway, we got 292 miles down there. Which they're probably not going to load it until tomorrow morning. So that means I won't unload until Thursday morning. This is why I don't do this stuff. Let's go. We'll figure out how it goes. We're here in Jersey to get the Z-bars. Here they are. There's 8 of them. And that's what I have to deal with. And it's just as bad on the other side. So, and they don't load them here. I have to load them. So I got to jump my happy ass on a forklift, which I haven't ran a forklift in 15 years. Not that I forgot how to, but this is going to be fun. Alright, so we're slowly getting there. We had a problem with space. I thought I was going to be able to get down this other side here with the Z-bars on the forklift, but it was way too tight. I definitely underestimated it. So that guy up there in that truck, you can see the yellow bags, he actually has those trucks staged, or on the Z-bars and stuff like this, mounted with those saddles right there. But he had another set of trucks in front of that. Those he finally moved, and then I was able to back the tractor down here. I was going to load them up there behind that, behind him, by that white Freightliner up there. So we got 3 on. We got these 2 here, the one on the left there, on the edge, and then we got 5 more. So we're going to put 1 more right here, and then we're going to move the truck to the other side here, over by here. I got to move these 2 out of my way, but I'll move the truck over here, and then I'll load up the other side, and we'll be out of here. Forklift's a little strange. The tilt forward, tilt back, up and down is all in one arm there. And like I said, I haven't ran forklift since I was 18 years old, 15 years ago. So it's a little tricky trying to play with that part, but everything came right back to me. I jumped on and had no problems with it. So we should be out of here in about, I'm gonna say, an hour, and it's 10:48 now, so let's see how I do. All right, there it is. What a huge pain in the butt. One problem I had was at the end there, I couldn't get these too close enough, and I had to sit there and play with it. Right here, the 5th wheel was over the, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but the 5th wheel was over the edge of the trailer. So what I didn't realize was the lip here, where you can see it overlapping. I had it overlapping just like that, but I had the 5th wheel underneath. It wasn't overlapping the same way. So I had to pull it back out, overlap it the same way. I was able to tuck it up tighter, and we got it nice and set in place where it needs to be. So they're faxing over the bill of lading right now. We'll go inside and grab that. Yeah, took me, it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's now 10 after 1. Took me a lot longer than I expected. The last half an hour half an hour, 45 minutes, I've been putting in corners and setting up straps, bringing the forklift back, getting the fax number, stuff like that. So we'll get the paperwork and then we're going to get out of here. Alright, so we didn't do too terrible. 471.6 miles for today, which is a lot less than I was expecting. I was expecting to get over to Springfield today, but I mean, we sat there getting loaded. Where the heck is it? On duty, 1 minute. Yeah, way too freaking long. 30 minutes on duty, hour and a half, no, hour and 5 minutes. So that's I'm too tired for this. 52, 452. 4 hours, 5 hours and 22 minutes that we were there today. And that was ridiculous. And there wasn't a lot of it didn't have to do with just me loading. Yeah, I mean, that definitely took a couple hours, but when I first got there, I had to get in there, talk to the guy, figure out what was going on. I had to walk down and see where the Z-bars were located. And then when I walked down there, I thought it was alright to come up the one aisle there with the trucks, which I underestimated how long the bottom was, the back part of it was. I was expecting to be able to have the fifth wheel hanging over top of the tractors and then be able to get the rest of the thing all the way down to the truck. But I spent time standing in the shop for, I don't know, maybe 25 minutes, half an hour, just for that alone, trying to get the forklift. Once I got the forklift, I had to reposition the two that I already had on the deck. I had to reposition those two. Once I got those, well, I had to unstrap them, reposition, and once I got them repositioned, then I went to go start bringing them up to the truck, and they were, that's when I realized they were too big, so I started moving them around and stuff. And then I had to wait for the guy to finish up moving the trucks out of my way. To hurry him up, I loaded the saddles that he had on the back of the two tractors, because he piggybacked tractors in. I helped pulled the forklift up to the back of two tractors and helped him put the saddles on those, and then move them over by where I needed to get to, where my stuff was located. And then finally was able to back my trailer down there, and then that's where it took me about 2 hours to get everything done. And then when everything was all done and over with, I went inside to have them fax me the bill of lading, and they're telling me, oh, there should be another 3 more there. And I'm like, first of all, you told me to get 10. And now you're telling me to get whatever there is. But on the other hand, which I wouldn't mind doing, but there wasn't any more to be picked up. There was one more that the guy was still waiting to be unhooked from. and I wasn't waiting around for him to finish packing that up. But it took her 45 minutes, if not more, to send me my bill of lading. I'm sure she was checking with the people requesting this stuff, but I mean, how are you going to sit there and tell me to pick up 10 and then hold me up because you think there might be more and you want to verify that? It just really pissed me off. So basically the last 45 minutes to an hour was just waiting on the bill. So I'm done with these things. They're not too bad. They're not hard to secure. They're not hard to drive. They don't give you any, there's no issues with them. I have no problem hauling them. But the inconsistency of where you got to pick these things up at, it's not worth my time, not worth my aggravation. I mean, I lost this load. Granted, I was supposed to pick it up Monday night. That was partially on me, but it was more on the snowstorm than it was on me. But it's due to the snowstorm is the reason I wasn't able to pick it up. I could have showed up there Monday night and loaded at 0 degrees and 9 o'clock at night, waiting on a wrecker at that point. Or it wasn't even 9 o'clock, would have been like 5 o'clock or something like that. But the place, Penske, closed at 6 o'clock, so it still wouldn't have happened either way, even if I went straight there. But they held me up on Tuesday morning for 3 hours. And that's why I didn't load the second stop last night. Because, again, I wasn't going to sit out there 8 o'clock at night trying to get these things loaded on. And good thing, too, because I would have been sitting there doing it in the dark with a forklift that I had no clue about. And trying to figure out how to get everything done. Which would have saved me time for today, but it would have been even more aggravation. So, you got one place that will load them. You got one place that you have to have a wrecker. You got one place, like today, that I had to load it. At least when somebody else is loading me, I'm up there directing them and telling them to pull forward or backwards or tip or whatever, and I can grab a hold of the unit and move it myself. But something different every time you go somewhere. It's just not worth the headache. So now I'm sitting on a load that paid me. What did this load pay? $1,700 over the course of 2 days, which should have only taken 1 day. No, it should have taken about a day and a half. Because it was, about a day and a half it should have taken. 840 miles total. So I guess we didn't do too terribly, but again, it's just too much aggravation. So anyway, we're here in Zanesville, Ohio at the Loves. I'm gonna roll out of here as soon as possible, which will be...
You are out of hours of service driving time.
7:51 that will be taken off out of here in the morning. And getting over there, figure 10 o'clock, 10:15 at the latest. As long as I don't hit much of any traffic in Columbus, we should be fine. And then tomorrow we are deadheading, I believe it's about 120 miles to northern Ohio, and that load is going down to Paris, Texas. I really don't like going to Texas, but since it's northern Texas, we should be alright getting out of there. I did calculate it the other day. It was like 260 miles, I believe, over to Oklahoma City. So I might end up going up there to get my the rooftop air conditioning loads. But we'll see what happens. That load's paying pretty decent. 20, I believe.
You are out of hours of service driving time.
So,
You are out of hours of service driving time.
I clicked on it twice. It's 1,029 miles, paying me $22.59 and 24 cents. So, pretty good paying load. It's you know, helped me out of crawl back out of my little hole that I made for myself over the weekend. Basically picking this up on Thursday, and I won't be able to deliver until Monday morning. Nice, easy, no tarp load of crane mats. So anyway, we'll see how tomorrow morning goes. Alright, good afternoon. We are finished with this load. Finally. Got here about 10:30, and it's just after 12 now. Took over an hour before he finally came out. Everything was frozen. I even got all my straps piled up here on the passenger side to try to thaw them some before I get up to my next pickup. Well, they'll all be thawed, but they'll be soaking wet still. Unfortunately, it's going to make my floor all wet, but what are you going to do? It's better than trying to deal with frozen straps when I get there and trying to tighten down the load. Which isn't going to be too bad. We should need maybe 8 straps, I'm thinking. Picking up the crane mats. As far as the unloading, everything went pretty good. It just took him a while before he finally came out to unload me.
To the right on US 68.
I actually probably took me, well, between getting checked in, getting pulled into position, and getting unstrapped and putting all my straps inside the truck, it took me about 45 minutes. And then as soon as I was done, I walked down to the building to basically let them know that I was good and ready to go.
Continue on this road for 5 miles.
I went to the bathroom real quick, and then we both pretty much came up at the same time. So that's it. We're heading up to the next pickup now. We got, I think it's 150 miles to get up there. Be roughly 2.5 hours. I can't really tell right now because I have it set to one location to avoid it from trying to send me a different way, which is about 30 miles shorter, but it's the same time distance, and I'm trying to get there as fast as possible so I get this stuff loaded on and get on down the road. So Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and we'll be back in the next video.